Oliver, how are you enjoying the conference?
I really like it. It's my second time here. Last year I spoke myself. I presented my master thesis and it was great. This year it's even greater because I have not the pressure of being a speaker myself. I really enjoyed. Just come from a workshop. It was great. I come again next year. For sure.
We look very much forward to seeing you next year as well. Thank you for this interview. No, I'm just kidding. So you gave a lightning talk yesterday. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes.
The highlights of it.
Yes. So, the highlights was that many people walked away. I hope it was just because there was food.
Yeah.
No,
and it was the last one of the day, right?
No, it was the first one.
Oh, okay.
Well, first lightning talk
First
at the
lightning
end
talk.
of the day.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
No, so basically in the past month and actually years, I started to think about many different things. So that's why we coined it very briefly a philosophical security talk. It's about the phrase security as an enabler, where I started to think about that phrase because I had encounters with friends in their workspaces, but also in my workspace with people, mostly project managers. They come and say, hey, security as an enabler, come on, help me, and so on. And I am all for this. I in some projects, I really helped. I think as security, we need to be open. But I started to think about security as an enabler. Does that fit when you're inside a company, or should it only fit when you have a product and you want to sell a product, so as a USP? And I came to sort of a conclusion. I'm not finished. I'm still thinking and reading up on Ross Anderson from Cambridge University, if I'm not mistaken, who wrote some papers on the economics of security. So I'm reading up there, and I'm starting to, I want either to write an essay or give a talk on that. And the essence is figuring out, is the phrase security as an enabler, is it wrong? Is it good? When is it good? When is it wrong? And my feeling is sometimes people try to throw around the phrase, or interestingly, not many people knew the phrase, but maybe you know the feeling. The feeling when people come and talk to you like it's 4:45, you actually want to go home, you're tired, and they come and say, hey, I need this firewall request now, you need to help me. If you're not here, 1,000 people can't work tomorrow. So you get kind of pressured into some stuff. And I once had a person coming into my office at literally 5 p.m. and I wanted to jump to the train. And they said, I need this, 500 people, high access can't work otherwise. And I started to look at it and said, yeah, well, that's great with my conscience. That is not going to happen. He wasn't very happy about that at the end. But yeah, that's the important thing. I think as a security professional, you have to keep your cool in that situation, because everyone wants to work for the business. We all work for the bottom line. Without a business that goes well, I don't get paid. So it goes to that. Have the conscience that you have to work for the bottom line, but you also have to work for the security. There is a trade-off. We all know the trade-off. And it boils down to risk management at the end.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, which reminds me of the let's build a war room.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you want to tell that.
Yeah, sure. So a few years ago, me and Vítor were working together, and we were to interview people for security team. And we had a guy, he had a PhD actually in security, and he came in, and one question we asked him was, okay, so you're in a scenario where the CEO comes to you and says, we were hacked. What do you do? And the guy just said, his reply was, well, tough luck, and I'll build a war room.
Exactly.
That was his answer. And there needs to be more to that. Like, there needs to be, what does the CEO mean by hacked? Is it on his phone? Is it on his laptop? Like, there was a whole bunch of process that needed to happen before build a war room. And it's the exact same type of problem, right?
You can just
pop the beer.
Yeah,
exactly. You need to keep calm, and you need to put security on top of probably all the priorities that you have at that particular moment, and not build
a war.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I really think it's about realizing daily, where am I at? What is, if somebody comes to me, what is their goal? What do they want from me? And I mean, I always worked in small companies, and I work in a larger company, and I had to get used to the politics. Sort of at the beginning, I thought maybe they come to me because they think they can play with me. I'm not so known to the politics, but later on I realized no, they come to me because I have quite creative ideas to help them, because I do feel, yes, the enabler in me. I want to enable the business to do things, and there are many ways how you can do something in a secure way. It just takes sometimes a little bit more time
and patience.
Exactly. Yeah. And one great thing is I worked with a project manager on a nice project, and I went to him and told him, look, something is not right here. We need to rethink this. And he actually went back to the sponsor and told them, we need more time. Yeah. We ended up having, I think, 5 times the man days of a similar project. Which was interesting because we had to defend that, but we could defend it because I kept track. I kept track what I was doing. I kept track why I was doing things. I wrote risk assessments, things that people really liked because it helped them understand where do I come from. I come from risk management at the end. For me, I think JP said it very good this morning. It is about risk management. Security is about risk management. Keep that in mind. I see a lot of pen test reports, and I love the work that these guys are doing, but sometimes pen testers miss the risk management part of their work. It's when you have the urge to scream, yes, I found something really cool. You did, but is it really that critical for the company? And when we come back to the security as an enabler, I do think that all the consulting work, so pen testing or security consulting and advisories, they really are security as an enabler because it's what they sell. They sell security. Many companies, if you work in-house in security, you work more for the trust that clients trust in you. You don't really sell security anymore. You sell trust to clients, especially if you work in the financial industries, right? Yeah. So that boils down to you trust with your money that company. And if a company is constantly hacked and is not doing a good job, it probably sees it in the client numbers.
We had a similar conversation today, actually, previously. I think there's a problem there, which is it's going against its nature, right? So you're saying that, as a pen tester, I have this thing of I found something, and you don't think about risk management. But the reality is that's their nature. Like, I get paid. If I find more vulnerabilities, that means I'll get called again. Yeah. That it goes like risk management will not benefit the pen testers, right?
Absolutely.
So they would have to fight against themselves.
I have a great story. When I was a pen tester, I had a customer who does really a good job. And I had 3 days testing time, so it was a short assessment, and I was working 3 days like mad. I couldn't find anything. On the first day, it's like, okay, yeah, you have to get used to whatever is in front of you. On the second day, you normally start finding some stuff, right? And then the third day, you find even more. And when I arrived at the third day, I was really down. I was depressed. I was like, it can't be. I really don't have anything. Some low risk stuff, yes.
Insecure cookies.
Yes. Well, you always find, but not really something that I can really show off to the client. Yes. I think there it's important to have a decent manager that leads you. And my manager told me, look, we are doing work with them for many years. Now it's you that's doing the assessment. So we wanted to have a fresh pair of eyes on it. And all that this shows is our previous work was good. Yeah. And I had this situation as a pen tester. You find something juicy and you were jumping up and down and you wanted to scream it from the top of your lungs because you found something. And I did that as well. I really did that as well. And I think you can defend it by saying, well, I don't see the inside of the company, so I can't really tell what is the exact risk. When I was a pen tester, I always told the guys, look, this is the report, this is what I see as a risk, but please assess the risks yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I just don't know if the companies really have the time for that, or if they just take the report and adapt it to what you ever write in there. I can think of many companies not having the time anymore because, let's face it, time is money. Nobody has time, and that is a big issue.